Believe it or not, up until not very long ago, I actually worked a normal job. In fact, it was a really good job. I worked in that building right back there behind me. Now, what most people around me didn't know at the time was that I was working on something that would allow me to take control not only of my schedule, but of my financial future as well. And now, I get to work here. So come on inside with me and let me show you how you can make that transition to working for yourself. So what could possibly entice a rationally minded person to leave a safe and secure job where they're earning a good income for this risky entrepreneurship stuff, making money online? It may sound a little bit crazy, but hang with me for just a little bit and I'll try to paint a picture for you. Let me illustrate this by telling you a little bit about my morning today. I woke up early, about 5:30, because I wanted to, and because I was able to get to bed at a reasonable hour. I went to the gym, something that I didn't seem to have time for, despite the fact that my employer had a gym on premises. I had breakfast with my family. I sat down with my son and I helped him with his piano lessons. I did all of these things. I saw my son off to the bus. I got to enjoy the morning with my kids. I read a book with my daughter, and yet I was still working by about 9 a.m. Again, all of those things are things that I didn't used to do because I didn't really have time, or rather, I had so much stress and so much on my plate that it was hard for me to make time to do those things. So there are really two reasons why I was enticed to do this risky, crazy entrepreneurship thing. The first one is what I just mentioned. Time, control over my time, control over how I spend my life. Too many of us spend our whole lives working really hard to earn a paycheck so that we can afford a roof over our head and a place to sleep and a car to drive so that we can get back to work tomorrow so that we can earn money. It's just this cycle that most people are caught in until maybe someday they have enough money to retire. See, I have 4 kids, 4 adorable little kids from the age of 6 on down. And everybody tells me how fast time goes, and I'm already seeing it. And that I need to take advantage of the time I have with these little kids, because before I know it, they'll be grown up. Well, that's true, and it's not something that I was doing a very good job of before, but it's something I can do now because of what I have, because I have that control over my time. Now, the second thing is control over my finances. At a normal job, it's very, very hard to get a raise above a couple % a year, no matter how well you perform. If you're lucky, you work at a place that might give you bonuses or allow you to work on commission so that you have a little more control over your financial future. But even in that situation, the only way you make more money is by making somebody else even richer. When you work for yourself, all of your output, everything you create, you get to keep the fruits of. And that is the other reason. And now you ask, well, that's all well and good, Ricky, but I really like my safe job and I can build websites on the side. Why should I quit my job if I can, boost my income through that means? And that's a perfectly fine approach. If that works for you and your lifestyle, that's fine. But for me, I really wanted that control over my time back. And the other reason is that once you go full time, the impact on your potential income just shoots through the roof. And the reason for that is how much more you're able to get done. Imagine if you were able to put the hours of the day that you normally put into your normal job into this, where every moment of time that you spend working is productive time. Imagine how much you could get done. That's what it's like for Jim and for me now. When we work, we work. And when we're not having to work, we get to live the life that we want to live. So if that's something that you're interested in, then considering going full-time at some point and when you're ready could be a great idea. So what do you lose when you give up a normal job? The first thing that most people feel like they're losing is job security. But let me ask you, does job security really exist? About 4 years ago, I was working for a successful company in a good job. But one day they decided that that job was no longer necessary. From one moment to the next, I didn't have a job. Now I left that company, got to move back home to Idaho, which I was so grateful for. But I went to work at another company, one of the most successful companies in the world. And while there, I worked with a team of 8 people. Now of those 8 people, only 2 of them, 3.5 years later, still work for that company. One of them was the manager and he retired. and another was me. I voluntarily left to go do other things. But of the other 6, 4 have since been let go. 4 of them. Now, these are not brand new employees, or these are not troublemakers. These are very experienced employees with a lot of knowledge and a lot of tenure at the company. There is no job security, not for them, not for me, and most likely not for you. Now, what's the other thing you give up? You do often give up some other benefits, especially financial benefits. Health insurance, dental insurance, 401k matching. If you're lucky enough to have those things at your job, it can be very scary to give those things up. But I made the choice to give them up. And let me walk you through exactly how you could do the same thing if that's something that you're interested in doing for yourself. So let's get into the nuts and bolts. What exactly do you need to do to be able to quit your day job? Well, the first thing is you need to get started. Building your online passive income website doesn't need to take you 8 hours a day. It's something you can do conjointly with your normal job. Just take some time. Dedicate whatever time you have. If it's an hour a day, maybe on a lunch break, maybe it's something you do when you get up a little bit extra early in the morning. But dedicate a little bit of time every day to making this happen for yourself. It's not going to happen on its own. You're going to have to dive in and get to work. That is the first step. The second step is to create a realistic timeline for yourself. You need to understand what it's actually going to take and what you can expect to happen. Now, this is where I'm hoping I can help today. When you start a brand new website, you're probably not going to be making a substantial income anytime in the first year. In fact, I'll give you a little bit of a secret that hopefully will keep you motivated to stick with this for the long term. It takes about 5 months for most people to reach what we call pizza day. That's when you earn the first $5 on your website. Now, that may sound absolutely nuts. You're working for 6 months to earn a pizza, but that's not what you're doing. You're creating a foundation and you're creating content that's going to generate income for years to come. It's just not going to happen immediately. A little while back, we published a video about how long it takes for brand new content on a new website to bring in about the level of traffic it's going to have for years to come. And it takes about 35 weeks for it to rank and start driving that traffic to your website. Now, we build our websites very organically. We don't try to do a lot of tricky stuff because those things will get you in trouble down the road. The way we build our websites takes a little bit of time, but in the long run, you're going to be earning more income and you're going to be earning it for much longer because of the way you chose to build your website. So have a realistic timeline for yourself. Now, I told you it's going to be about 5 months to hit pizza day. What about at 12 months? At 12 months, most people are about $1,000 a month or more. The nice thing is that at 24 months, that $1,000 is now more like $8,000 to $9,000 every single month. Now, I have to tell you, these results are not typical. That's kind of legal speak. But here's the thing. Some people earn much more than that and other people earn less. Now, the reason for that is how much you dedicate to the work, the content itself that you create and the quality of that content, and other decisions you can make, like, are you going to pick a really competitive topic to make a website about? How are you going to monetize that website? Now, these are all things that we help navigate people through in our course. And really, the biggest mistake most people make is they don't stick with it. Again, that first step is the most important. And so sticking with it through those 24 months, especially those first 5, is the most important thing you can do. So having an understanding of what that timeline really looks like will help keep you motivated to stick it out for the long haul. The next thing you need to figure out to be able to quit your day job is exactly how much income you need to be able to do that. Now, if you're really risk averse like me and my wife, we had to be able to replace our full-time income. We were not willing to give that up. But depending on your life situation, you may be willing to take a jump a little bit sooner. Again, understanding that timeline is going to give you a realistic idea of when you could jump, but you need to know how much you need to earn. The easiest way to do that is to start with a current budget. Look at your expenses for the last few months. How much are you spending and where are you spending it? Now, I'm not talking about making cuts here and there. I'm just talking about tracking that. Now, I like to use a budgeting tool, free ones online. There's a whole bunch of them. Just find one that you like. Lots of people use Mint or everydollar.com. There are many other good budgeting tools that are totally free. Use those to track how much you're spending. Now, on top of that, you need to plan for other benefits that you're going to lose that we talked about. If you have 401k matching, if you have health insurance or dental insurance that's covered through work. And keep in mind that it's probably going to cost you more on your own than it cost you when you were working for another company. And so shop around, find out what it's actually going to cost you, and add those onto your budget. This is the amount that you need to be able to earn to be able to step from a full-time job today to having that full-time income on the side. Now, the nice thing is that over the course of several months, while you're building up this website, it's going to be earning some money. So by the time you're ready to actually take the dive and leave your full-time job, you should have some nice money that's been set aside from everything you've earned up until this point on your website. So what do you need to do right now? Well, like I said, you need to get started writing 30 blog posts. 30. Now that can seem really intimidating, especially if you feel like it's going to take you a long time to write each and every one. Well, in this other video that we'll link to at the end, we taught how we write good blog posts in under an hour. In fact, in that video, in about 40 minutes, with Jim talking, recording a video right in front of me, I had to do my research on my cell phone with spotty cell reception. I was able to complete a good blog post in about 40 minutes. You can do that too. In fact, not long ago, we published a podcast episode where we taught how we helped high school students to cut their writing time way down. We wanted to test it out and see, could high school students do what we're expecting our Project 24 members to do? And we gave them some training, and they tried. They spent 60 minutes, and they fell way short. So we learned from them what went wrong. Where did you get stuck? And then we gave them another shot. We gave them a different topic, and in 60 minutes, most of them were almost done with a good blog post. Now that's incredible. If high school students can do it, you can learn how to do it too. Now this is training that we're giving to our writers at Project Rexburg as well. Project Rexburg is where we've hired writers to create content for our many new websites. And we've hired a bunch of brand new employees. These are college students who in their first week are already able to write these blog posts in about 90 minutes. You can do that too. Again, 30 articles in about 60 days is all you need to do to meet the Project 24 timeline. Keep up with that in the short term, and you'll be able to do great in the long term. Now let me tell you a little secret. When I have to write every single day, I get totally burned out. So I get it. It is intimidating. Even if it doesn't take you a long time, even if you can do it in an hour a day, it can be very hard to stay motivated. And that's why I recommend that you set some goals for yourself. Now, I'm not talking about goals where you say, I'm going to earn X number of dollars 6 months from now. That's not under your control. Focus on the things that are in your control, like how much time you're going to spend writing. You could say, for the next 60 days, I'm going to dedicate 1 hour every single day to writing a blog post. Now notice I didn't say 1 hour a day to working on my website. Most people make the mistake of spending a lot of time making their website look pretty. Nobody cares what your website looks like until it has good content on it. So dedicate that hour a day to writing. Now, if you want to learn more about the Project 24 timeline and how you can follow this exact step-by-step process to get yourself to a full-time income on the side with passive income websites in about 24 months, then go check out our webinar video where we outline the timeline. We talk about the different kinds of websites and the different kinds of articles that you're going to write. It's just a great overview of what we call Project 24.